What's up, everyone? Welcome to Cracker. Almost said welcome to WrestleMania. Weird. A few things I didn't mention in my previous videos that's just insane to be a wrestling fan right now. You know, the fact that it was 30 years ago. 30 years of WrestleMania already. Ultimate Warrior became Hall of Famer finally and then passed away. Undertaker lost his streak. It's insane. But anyway, a couple things I wanted to talk about. I wanted to show something as well. My fiance knew I kind of took it hard with the whole Ultimate Warrior thing. So she went out and did some retail therapy for me, which was interesting because we kind of really, we're not broke, but we're not, I guess, as comfortable as we want to be, because a lot of things have been happening, which I want to talk about too. We're switching our real estate person. Son of Sam had mentioned that the whole contract thing was bogus and all a bunch of BS, and we figured out that it was true. We figured out that he was true. Figured out it was true, so thank you. And we switched to one of the guys I originally had, so he's helping us out now, and we're going to go take a look later on today, just look at certain areas, not houses, but just the areas, see what they're like. Otherwise, we're not going to bother with that area, which is a smart move. But my fiance's car broke again. She had a huge fight yesterday with the mechanic. The same problem she originally had that they fixed is right back where it started, and she's like, this is ridiculous. And they charged her, they were charging $85 just to look at it, and she's like, this is ridiculous. You're charging me money again to look at something that should have been fixed. You charged me, it was like $1,800 the last time to have everything fixed. And so they charged her the $80, 83 something to look at it. And she's telling them, it happens when you get past 40 miles an hour, the whole steering wheel shakes and everything, and they're saying that her tires need to be balanced and all these things they're throwing in there. And she's like, just fix it, do whatever. And then they found out that there was a nail stuck in her tire, so they took out the nail and patched it and all these things. And then the mechanic guy was kind of nice. He wound up waiving a lot of the fees and a lot of stuff, so it only charged us $73 or something like that. For even the work that they did, which was pretty cool, considering. I told her, I was like, always save your stuff, because I was like, bring your receipt down there. It's less than a month old, and they got to have some kind of a warranty on their service, and that saved our ass because they were going to charge another like $1,000. But now it's funny because now she's telling me, she's like, the car's still doing it. She's like, they fixed it again, yet it's still got the problem. So the problem with that is that it's eating away our piddle amount of savings that we have that was going to go towards our house. So it's like a whole big thing. She's like, I cannot not have the car, so, but she's like, and then again, if I fix the car, then we can't get the house. If we get the house, I can't fix the car. So it always seems to come around all in one shot. Right when you need things to go a certain way, that's when they get completely flipped around. But anyway, we're still going ahead as planned. We're still going to figure it out. She's leaving the car as is right now, so we'll see how it goes. But anyway, on to what my fiance, she went out yesterday after all this stuff, and she was walking through Target to get a couple things, allergy medicine, stuff like that, and she saw this, and she saw how cheap it was, and she also realized that she gets a discount. She actually works in one of the stores that's in the same shopping center as Target, so the whole area gives each employee, as long as you show that you're an employee of one of the stores, a discount. So this was regularly was $45 at Target. They were selling it on sale for $15, which is one hell of a drop, and she wound up getting it for $10. And that is the first complete season of Arrow. She's like, I know it's not Blu-ray. I was like, no, hey, I don't care. She's like, I know how pissed off you get if it's not Blu-ray. I'm like, no, it's fine, it's fine. This is what it looks like. It's got that, and it's 5 discs. But it's funny because originally I had mentioned I didn't think this show was gonna work. I thought it was like, I watched the first episode, I was like, it sucks, and then it just kept getting better and better. I'm like, alright. But so my fiance is really cool. She got this for $10. Very pleased. Because like I said, she knew how hard I took to Ultimate Warrior passing away, which is still hanging in there. But a couple things I want to talk about. That's the only new thing I had. But hopefully you like my stories, because there's gonna be a lot of stuff here. Just shows how insane things are. I was watching, actually I'll get into that in a second, but it's going to basically be a lot about toys, comics, and everything, so it's kind of a mix, so buckle up. This kind of leads into what I actually found. When I was a kid, like I said in the previous video, wrestling became a huge part of my life in the late 80s and 90s, mostly the late, let's say 89, 90, something like that, like I said, with the whole Ultimate Warrior thing. And, I was obsessed. Like, I was just getting into comics, I was getting into wrestling. Me being a little kid, oh my god, man, I was sporadic. I remember when I was, let's say 4 or 5, let's say 5, when I was living in one house and I was obsessed with the A-Team, I was obsessed with MacGyver, I was obsessed with Knight Rider, Magnum P.I., the Thundercats were huge, Transformers, G.I. Joe. That was me. Like, when I was a kid, every holiday, birthday, that's all I wanted. Well, for some reason I wanted magic stuff. I was obsessed with magic for some strange reason. It didn't last long. But it was GoBots, Transformers, He-Man, Thundercats, and G.I. Joe. Obsessed with that stuff. I wanted all the, and then started, every now and then I would get like a super, Kenner Superpower Friend, whatever, Superpower, I don't know what the hell that thing was called. You know what I'm talking about. I had Superman, I had Batman, I had, like, Darkseid, all that stuff, and I've gone into that in great length. But that was it. Like, and I was kind of lucky because back then, my father, we weren't poor, but we always had our problems because my father was a gambler, and he worked construction, so he made a lot of money, but then he would piss it away, or a lot of times if he actually won, which was, it depends. Sometimes it would be cool because, it sounds sick, but he would take money, and if he won whatever it was, like during Christmas, those times when he would win were massive. Like, I would have pretty much every toy known to man. It was insane, and of course he would throw them out, which was weird, but anyway, yeah, so like, I remember one Christmas, it was just, I still have a photo I made on Facebook for like a throwback thing, and just saw like the Christmas tree. It was just, that's where I was lucky. I was an only child, so everything went to me. But, excuse me. It was, there was everything on there. I had like every GoBot under there, every Transformer. It was insane. He-Man, it was nuts. But, I started getting into, like I said, into wrestling and the comic books in, late 80s and 90s. And when I put my mind into something, like I wasn't really collecting. I was a kid, it was always, something. When I was like, oh, I want the wrestling toys. I want the wrestling toys. Because when the toys were coming around 1990, I was obsessed. Right then and there, I was obsessed with the Ninja Turtles, Ghostbusters, Battle Beasts, Army Ants, Guts, and Muscle. And Micro Machines. It was, it's just funny how it switched. Like, I was kind of still with G.I. Joe, but I kind of wasn't. I wasn't really with Thundercats anymore, and then it was wrestling, and I'm like, oh, and then it was kind of getting into the comic books, but comic books didn't really have any. They had the Secret War toys, but I think I only had Kang back in the day, which I don't know why the hell I got him. I can't remember. I don't know. I still have him, but right then and there, I was getting, like I said, I was huge in Ninja Turtles. Like, I wanted every Ninja Turtle toy, which was kind of iffy. Like, I'd get a couple here, I'd get a couple there. He-Man was out, Thundercats was out, G.I. Joe was kind of out. But it was mostly wrestling and Ninja Turtles. That's where I was really obsessed with more than anything else. And I wanted all the wrestling figures. I wanted the ring. I wanted this. 1990 it came out, and I had, like you've seen, I had Hogan, still have him. Big Boss Man, still have him. Andre the Giant, I still have. $1 Million Man, I still have. I think I might still have a couple others. Actually, no, I think that's it. But I had a lot of them. I had, Demolition, Axe and Smash. I never had the Legion of Doom. I never had Roddy Piper. I never had Mr. Perfect. I had Jake the Snake Roberts. I had the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Had Akeem. What else I had? I had never had the Undertaker. I don't remember if I had the Macho Man. I think I did. I know I had Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Just trying to think offhand from the 1990 figures. Because 91, I can't remember. I had the Ultimate Warrior. I can't remember in 91. I had Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I was kind of like still into wrestling, but I wasn't really like hardcore as I was in 91, I guess. And weird. But I had a couple of the figures. I'm not 100% sure. I think I had the second Ultimate Warrior, but I'm not really 100% sure. But never had the Mountie or IRS. I remember them. There was a couple. But anyway, I'm rambling about my childhood. But what's interesting is this is going to wrap around. Believe me, there's points. What's interesting is that I was watching Comics Quest, and I forget who else. Somebody else had the thing too, and he was talking about how high prices are on eBay and stuff like that. Which this just shows how crazy things are and how true it is. Before Ultimate Warrior passed away, I was looking at stuff on eBay, and I wanted I saw the Ultimate Warrior 1990 figure, the one where it's basically he had like his fist here, his thing, and then you would push him down, he would spring forward. I think I mentioned this already, but I was looking at it, I'm like, it's pretty cheap, and it was like $3 or something like that, and when he passed away, the guy took the thing off of eBay and now put it back on, and it wanted like a couple $100 for like both Ultimate Warrior figures. It's insane. And I'm looking through it, I'm like, good God. I was like, now the guy passes away, so now everything is, through the roof. Autographs are expensive, everything is just nuts. And a friend of mine, we were talking about it, was like, yeah, he's like, oh, he's like, now you're trying to go to Warrior. I'm like, no, I was trying to get it before, and I missed the first auction when it was $3, and then the guy relisted it, and I was getting ready to, bid on the damn thing, and then Ultimate Warrior passed away. It was that Tuesday. It was ending. Or was it Wednesday? No, I'm sorry. Wednesday was ending, and the guy took it off and then put it back on as a couple $100, which was insane. So I was looking through stuff, and I found stuff. Like I said, people were insane. Like there was an Ultimate Warrior figure from '91 where he's kind of goes like this, and it was missing an arm, and the guy wanted $75 for it. One was missing the fingers. The guy wanted $150 for it. But I just kept looking. Like I said, with me, like I'm very weird like that. Like I wait, and I'm not buying it. I wasn't buying it to make money. I wasn't buying it to turn around and sell it. I was buying it because I don't know if it sounds sick or just that's the way the collectors are. All the toys I kind of missed from when I was a kid. I'm trying to go back. I guess that's kind of the main thing of a lot of things. And just trying to find a few of them from time to time. And I was like, I like Ultimate Warrior. I don't have his thing, and what the hell? I'll give it a whirl. And I'm looking and looking. I finally found one. It was a buy it now, and I jumped at it. I was like, the hell with it. Because I could see this stuff going through the roof. It was a buy it now for $8. It came with the little file card. It had like the little point. It wasn't packaged, but it was, came with the stuff with the package. And it was his 1990 figure where, he's got the fist and he springs. It was $8, and I think it was like $5 shipping, which is, I'm kind of like, I don't want to spend that kind of money. But then I was looking, when I saved it, I was looking at the other ones. The same one without all the extra stuff. The minimum one I saw was like $15, $20, $35, $65, $75. I'm like, the hell with it. I was like, I'd rather pay the $8. So I bought it. It's going to be shipped to me hopefully eventually sometime next week. Who knows? But I told my friend, I was like, I got one. He's like, what? He's like, yeah. I was like, I got one. I found one pretty cheap. He's like, oh, you lucky bastard. I was like, no, I just waited and waited and waited like I always do, and just kind of tried to find a deal, which was interesting because I told my fiance. Usually I don't tell her, which is kind of bad, because I'm really trying. I'm not buying anything. I haven't really bought any comics. Like I said, I'm kind of kicked myself because I didn't buy Superior Spider-Man number 31, which I'm gonna have to find down the line, because like I said, we're not broke, but it's getting bad. So buying stuff is really not the best thing to do. And I'm sitting there, I was like, and I'm looking at it, and she's like, all right, it's only $8. I'm like, well, it's $8 and $5 shipping, and so it's like 13 something. And she's like, all right, she's like, but that's, she's like, no more. We can't spend money. We can't spend the money. And I'm like, yay. Yeah, it's kind of sick sometimes, like retail therapy. You're like, I'm gonna go buy that, make myself feel better. But I just really wanted to have an Ultimate Warrior figure again, like I had when I was a kid, to bring me back to better days, I guess. And because like I said, if we get a house and I move, I wanted to do like different sections, stuff like that. I just thought it'd be cool. So yeah, I have an Ultimate Warrior figure coming to me, which is nice. But like I said, with Comics Quest, same thing. It's just how expensive things are. Like I actually had to not give up, but let's just say temporarily put on hold, going after Spider-Man comics because they're through the roof. They're insanely priced. people are out of their minds with some of the prices they're charging for certain books. Like, I saw Amazing Spider-Man number 100, which I don't have. I was looking for, just out of curiosity. Sometimes I just like to go through eBay and just kind of make myself feel worse, I guess, that I can't buy anything. But, looked at it, and this thing had no cover, and it was missing the first 2 pages, and the guy won $150 for it. You know, and Comics Quest had mentioned it. It's just, the movie comes out, people go insane. Like, oh my god, I can make a fortune off of these books now. Oh my god. And it just pisses me off that the amount of money, like, because so now, like, I have to stall. I can't even go after the stuff I want to try to complete my collection because they're too much money. He was talking about with the X-Men, the same thing. X-Men, I actually stopped collecting because they were getting way out of hand. Like, the books are just, it's just nuts. And I know, like, my friend, we were having a huge discussion about this. He was just recently bought a couple pretty expensive comics. He's like, well, the longer I wait, he's like, the more money they go up. And I'm like, that's true. And that's like, we got into a huge thing, and I was like, yeah, I was like, it just sucks that where you're spending so much money on a book because you want to read it, you want to have it in your collection, and people are greedy. They're just flat out greedy, which is interesting because I'm going to show something else, an old wizard. I want to get into that. But, yeah, like I was telling my friends, like, I can't even get Spider-Man stuff because they're too expensive. They're just way too expensive. So what I do, like I said to him, he's like, what do you do in that situation? I said, what I do is I wait. I just wait, and I wait and see. like a stalker. I'm in the shadows. I'm just waiting to see for when something pops up. And ironically, this is another reason why, like I said, I can't spend any money. But I got a hell of a deal on this, and I couldn't pass it up. I actually found. I'm not really gonna say. Let's just say the Spider-Man comics. I got an insane deal on. I think it's like 8 books or something like that. Let's see, maybe 8 to 10 books. Insanely cheap. Let's just say insanely. The books that are in this lot that I found, one of them was going for $15 to $20 a piece, give or take, and another one was going for, the minimum was 10. I've seen it, and I got the 2 of those that I needed in this lot. There's a few that I have doubles of that are going to be doubles, but I'll talk about that in another one when I actually get it. But the price is just, couldn't pass it up. And even for the price that I paid, even my fans like, get it. But talking about prices, this isn't one of the oldest Wizard magazines, but it's an old one. This one is from it's not that old, 2008, May 2008, number 199. The reason I'm pulling this out is I just want to just show something that I thought was insane, or it's just weird. Like, I've been collecting, well, I know they're not publishing them anymore, but I basically have every Wizard magazine from the beginning to the end. I'm missing a few here and there that I'm actually gonna I want to track down when I actually get some extra cash, just to be like, I have them all. But what was insane is when I was a kid, I didn't really know about the Overstreet Price Guide. I didn't get one of those until 1990, which I've shown, which I still have, that my parents bought for my birthday. It was like $60, which is insane, which it still won't think that price. I was always going off of Wizard, which is the wrong thing to do. I was looking at books, and I'm like, oh my god, they're worth that much money, they're worth this much money. Now, I'm going to give you an example. In the back of the Wizard, they always had like their version of a price guide. Now, I don't know if where they got these prices, and I don't even know like what they're considering the book to be in. I guess if the book was near mint, that's what I'm guessing, because they never ever explained where they got these prices from, or what condition the book is supposed to be in for these prices to be valid. But some of these prices are insane. Now, like I said, this is from 2008. I was looking at one, I've left it upstairs though, from like I think it was like Wizard number 6, which is almost exactly the same structure of this. But this has more stuff in it. But here's an example. We're going to use Spider-Man as an example. Amazing Spider-Man number 9, first appearance of Electro. $1,000. Now, like I said, I don't know if this is what they're claiming it's worth, or what it should be sold for, or whatever, but that's insane. And then you look at another good example. Let's find another one. All right, Amazing Spider-Man number 100, anniversary issue, $220. First appearance of Morbius number 101, $170. Let's see, first appearance of Hammerhead, which I have, $42. Okay. Let's see, first appearance of the Punisher, $450, which actually that kind of makes sense because it's still in that kind of price range. Which is funny because some of these really are kind of in the price range now, especially if you go on eBay. Maybe these are eBay prices. But let's see, number 122, $240. Number 134, $45. Number 136, $90. That's the first appearance of Harry Osborn as the Green Goblin, number 2. Here's a good example, number 300, $90. Whereas the Chrome edition, which I also have, $220. So those are just a quick example. Just amazing. Like, I guess maybe, like I said, eBay prices. Maybe that's what these people are going off of. Because when you look on eBay for books lately, especially if it's related to Spider-Man, Guardians of the Galaxy, Captain America, the X-Men, anything with a movie, they're insanely high priced. Insane. I saw, which I already have it, so it doesn't really matter, but I saw an Amazing Spider-Man number 313, which I always thought was an awesome Lizard cover by McFarlane. Rough shape, like it was really like faded. I mean, it wasn't like the really crappy. It looked, some parts of it looked like somebody wiped their ass with it. Like pieces of it were missing, like chunks on the bottom, and the guy wanted $1,000. $1,000. Ugh. And then I even looked on his thing just to see if, his store or whatever it was. And he had one of the ones, number 316, which is the first Venom cover. Well, first time Venom's on a cover. He wanted, I think it was like $1,800. And his reasoning was that the book is near mint, which it really wasn't. You can even tell by the photos. It had like a little chip missing off on the top left. He showed the back. The back had a crease. It had spine wear, and he puts it as near mint, first Venom. Wow. And then what really pissed me off even more than that, the fact $1,800, you got to be insane. Even if it was near mint, it's not even worth that much. What really kind of pissed me off is you get people that are just getting into comics. Like I have a couple of friends just getting into comics, and they're asking me now, is that a good price? Is that a good price? And I'll tell them, no, it's not. Don't buy that. Oh, but I really want it. Well, then that's up to you. But these people are taking advantage of people who don't know any better, in a way. Like, they're like, oh, that's the first Venom, and you don't take the time. Always do your research. If you don't take the time to do your research, you're going to get ripped off like that. Like I said, recently I had one of my friends, he was looking at, what the hell was it? Wolverine number 1. From his ongoing series, the first volume. Well, I don't know if you would call it volume 2. I guess you kind of would because of the limited series. But anyway, number 1. He saw it in a comic book store by him, and the guy apparently wanted $150 for it. And he's a huge Wolverine fan now. He was always into comics, but never really hardcore. And then I don't know, just something clicked, and he became a Wolverine fan, which is cool. But he's like, yeah, it's $150. I remember he called me. This was actually like a week and a half ago, actually. He called me. He's like, oh, I'm at the store right now. He's like, I found Wolverine number 1. I'm like, oh, cool, And he's like, oh, it's $150. I'm gonna get it. That's a good price. I'm like, no. I was like, what kind of, is it graded? Is it, whatever? And he's like, oh, no, it's not graded. He goes, it's, he goes, it looks old. And I'm like, it looks old. So he sent me a photo, and it had some spine wear, that's for sure. And I told him I actually got a near mint copy, which actually is a near mint copy. I got it for, I think it was like $30, and then I had it. It was a discount. I think it was like 15, because they were having a sale. This was at Collector's Kingdom, and he's like, "You got it for what?" I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "Dude, I wouldn't pay $150 for that." So he's like, "Oh well, I was looking on eBay, and it's expensive, and I really want it." And I had mentioned this to another one of my friends. Basically, I said, it really comes down to what you want to do. Like, you know, you really can't. I guess you can kind of blame people who are selling books for that much money, but also it comes down to your choice. If you're willing to pay that kind of money, then it's on you. But like I said, you should always do your research, always compare, always try to find the better deal, because in the long run, you'll thank yourself for it. You know, you're like, if you bust your ass, you know, like hard work pays off. If you bust your ass and you really look, like if you really want something like Wolverine #1 and you're really looking for it, and you work hard, you're looking hard for it, it'll come around. Trust me, and you'll find something. And I told him not to buy it. I said, don't buy it. I was like, not for $150. Like, it's not worth it, especially the condition it's in. I was like, you're better off waiting. And 2 days ago, he had called me. He found it for $25, and it was in. He said it was in great shape. The picture he showed me, from what I could tell, was actually pretty good. And I think the guy gave it to him for $20. And I was like, hey, there you go. I was like, it's better than $150. He's like, I'm glad I waited. I'm so glad I waited. You know, I didn't spend that money. I got it. I got the book I wanted. I'm happy. And sorry, just checking. Same thing like my friend. I told him, I was like, it comes down to your own preference, your own choice. If you want to spend $150 on a book, and it's really not worth that much, but you're willing to spend it because you want to have it, that's your own thing. Me personally, I'm kind of bad because I nitpick. I will sit there and I will look at a book and I will look at a book and I'll look at a book. I'm like, you know, and then I'm like, sometimes I kick myself because I'll be like, no, I'm not going to get it, and then it winds up being worth, you know, not just being worth money, but, you know, now it's a fortune to buy it, you know, and you're like, oh, son of a bitch. So it really comes down to your own choices in a way. So like, as much as I get pissed off for eBay, like the way they're selling stuff, it's going to keep going because people are going to keep buying it. So if someone turns around and buys a $100 book that's only worth $10, you know, the eBay guy's happy because he got his money way more than he should have. And if, as long as you're happy, I guess it really doesn't matter, because that's what it really should break down to, is if you're happy with the book you bought or the collectible you bought and you're happy with the price you paid, don't look back. Don't look back, because if you turn around and you start second guessing yourself, like say you bought this for like $50, you know, not that it's worth that, but just say you bought this for $50, and a week later you're like, let me just look it up, and you find it for $5, you're like, and that's happened to me before. That's happened quite a few times, and I try not to do it. I try to be content. Like if I'm like, you know what, like eBay, you look at them like, you know, what am I willing to pay on this? Like, how far am I willing to go to get that? And am I comfortable with that? That's what you really got to kind of focus on with anything. It's just kind of, even stores, stuff like that. It's a good thing to haggle. I know that. I know Greco Fabulous has got that down to an art. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. But yeah, it's just like I said. Like my friend he was happy with what he paid for the Wolverine. And then my other friend, he was happy with what he paid for his books. He's like, you know, I got them. I'm happy. You know, it's a price I didn't mind paying. It's cool. I have the full set of this now. I'm happy, and that's what it really comes down to when you're collecting. Is I always say like don't buy comics because you think you're going to be rich. Buy them because you like them, because you know you want to read them or you want to collect them. You like them for the cover. You like them for the story. You like them for the artwork. You know, whatever. You know, you want to put it on your wall. Hey, it's your collection, man. Do what you want. But like I said, just insane like how prices are, and I guess like I said, I kind of answered my own question in a roundabout sort of way, circling. It's what you're willing to pay. And I said to my friends all the time, I was like, comics really are worth what you're willing to pay for them. I was like, because you look at the Wizard magazine, which their prices on here, I don't know where, like I said, I don't know where they got them from. Like some of them are just like, wow, really? But then again, like sometimes you look at stuff like the first Electro. I've seen it go for $200, and you know people have sniped it and got $200. Yet according to this, it's worth, you know, a couple thousand. So, but then again, you look at the Overstreet Price Guide, which is the actual like the Holy Bible thing. You're like, oh well, it's only worth $300. So I kind of, you know, who knows? Who knows? But like I said, same thing with the Ultimate Warrior figure that I bought. I'm happy with the price I paid. You know, it was $8. I was kind of like, you know, I sold one for $3, but it didn't have the little extra things with it. And it wasn't working, so this guy's one claims that it works, you know, the spring works, and it came with a little file card and his little points and stuff like that. And I'm happy because I found a toy that I had when I was a kid, and I really just wanted it for my shelf. you know, and just to be like, I remember playing with that. Not that it's the exact same one, but it's the same thing, I guess. So hopefully when that comes around, I'll show you. But yeah, I've rambled on enough. I kind of get into my whole stories, and just did I make any points today? Who knows? It's just fun talking about old school stuff, and like I said, I'll definitely show that when it comes around. Because like I said, when I said to my friend, I was like, it's cool. I'm happy. Like I said, you got to be happy with the price you paid, and my friend was joking. He's like, you just buying it because you want to turn around and sell. I'm like, no, not really. And even my friend's like, you want to sell? I'm like, no, I just wanted to have it just for memory's sake. I did find the ring, and I was looking. I was like, I don't know, because I found it cheap actually, and I'm looking at it and it was in pretty good shape, and I'm looking at it, I was like, where would I put that? I mean, it's not that big. It's like, like that, and it's got the ropes and everything, and a little spot to hold the belt and stuff like that. And I don't know. Like I said, I'm trying to be good. And my fiance, I said, I was like, I'm done. I'm not spending any more money. I bought the Spider-Man books really cheap, great deal, and I got the Ultimate Warrior thing that I'm happy with. And I was like, that's it. I was like, I won't spend any more money. I give you my word. We'll see. I told her I wouldn't spend any money until everything's settled, until we're on a certain course. Then we'll see. Especially if I get a job, that would be great. But hopefully, when I finally move into a house, and we're actually settled, we actually know what the hell's going on, then I'll have better luck. I'm hoping that's what's going to happen. I'm going to have better luck getting a job, because it's getting insane. I've been sitting on my ass, and I'm just like, all right, this has got to change. But I'm definitely going to work a little more hardcore at getting a job when I'm more stable, I guess. And it might sound weird, but I just don't. Well, not that I haven't tried everything around my area, but I feel odd. Like if I had gotten the job, and it's like, oh well, I'm leaving in 6 months. I don't know where I'm going to be, or if I'm even going to be able to get to the job. It's not feeling like it's a waste. Just sometimes it feels like I wasted everybody's time. Like if I'm like, oh, I can never get back to this job because I don't have a car, or I don't have any way of getting there, or it's beyond walking distance. And the buses down here, like if you can find one, it's weird. But who knows? Like I said, I'm gonna have to figure it out. I told my fiance, I was like, when we get this house, we're gonna sit down, we're gonna discuss everything. I'm gonna try to figure out what's in the area, what I could get to. Maybe if I work overnight, which is rough. I know Hippies Collectibles, I know he works overnight, he knows what I'm talking about. It messes with you, it really does. You get used to it, but it still messes with you. I mean, I liked it because I'm not really, it sounds horrible, I'm not dealing with anybody, I'm just doing my job. I come in, I do my work, I go home, and that's what I liked about that kind of thing, is that there was nothing, in between. Like I didn't have to, oh, you got to stick around and do this and help these people and go on the register now. I was like, no, I'm gonna go do this, and that was it. Like night crew, that was it. That was every job I had that was an overnight was basically your boss was, do this job, get it done, go home, see you tomorrow. That's all it was. There was no BS. There was no, oh, you got to stick around and help out this, the day crew, and you got to, no, never happened. Whereas when you worked daytime, especially retail, nothing but BS. That's all it ever was, oh, you got to come in early to cover this person. You got to stay late to cover this person. Oh, you're in this section, now we're going to put you over in that section now because this person didn't come in. And we want you to come in on your holidays, and oh, you got a day off? No, you don't have a day off. You got to come in on your day off. Oh, you're sick? No, you can come in when you're sick. It's all right. Oh, you're here. You are sick. I'll go home. We don't want you to get us sick. It was always crap, but that'll be another story. I've talked enough. If you've watched this entire thing, cool. I know I lost a subscriber. I went from 237 to 236. Hey, it happens. Like I said, I'm happy with the subscribers I have, and honestly, this show is not about subscribers. It's not about me trying to get money from YouTube. It's not about, I'm glad I have the subscribers I do. I'm glad people watch and enjoy the show. I'm hoping. But it's not me just trying to be like, hey, you know what, I want to get all these subscribers so I'll be a millionaire and have 200,000 subscribers and 2,000 views or 300,000 views, which would be cool, but it's not about that. Anyway, please like, comment, subscribe, dislike if you want, but if you're a real man, you'll dislike and say why you dislike. I remember watching Hero 181's thing. That was cool. Yeah, you have to watch it. Hero 181, check that out, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, hey, share. Talk about it amongst yourselves. Tell your friends about this show. And it's not the size of your cave that matters. It's what you have in it, and hopefully you didn't pay a fortune for what you have in there, and you're happy with it. Later, everybody.